Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Pound. We're studying chapter 7.1 on the ecological landscape from Purposeful Designs Life Science. Today we're going to be taking a look at the last section in the chapter, section 715 on freshwater chemistry. So our objectives today are to explain how water hardness, sediments, pollution, and acid rain affect the chemistry of water. So let's take a look first at water hardness. Water hardness is the amount of magnesium and calcium in water. And you can see down here, these are actually limestone deposits. These are calcium carbonate deposits. This water is very hard that you can see. There's a lot of calcium carbonate in it. Water hardness measures the minerals in water. In fact, you may have noticed that your tap water at home makes mineral deposits on the faucet. The white stuff, the white crusty stuff that builds up on the faucet, that is water hardness. Or also, you may notice kind of a rust color coming out. That is also iron in your water. Those are minerals that are dissolved in the water that are coming out. And especially in this area where we rely upon well water a lot, your water is hard. It has minerals dissolved in it that dissolve in it from the rock and everything that is underneath our soil and everything where the water is stored in the aquifers. Mountain streams have softer water than prairies. Prairies, the water's moving a little slower and the minerals have more time to dissolve. Mountain streams, it's moving a little faster. It's not picking up those minerals as quickly. It's probably also colder because a lot of the mountain streams, their water is from runoff from snow melting and ice melting, and colder water does not dissolve as many minerals as the warmer prairie water. Some organisms, such as fish and mollusks, require these minerals and need their water to be at least somewhat hard. So hardness is a good thing. It is not a pollutant, like we're going to talk about now. Because a pollutant is a substance or condition in the air, soil, or water that is harmful to living things. You can see this water, and in the background here there is a dead fish. That water is polluted and the fish died. One pollutant are sediments. This is the solid material that settles to the bottom of a liquid. And you can see a lot of sediment here that's making the water brown. Sediment tends to clog fish gills, block light for photosynthesis, and fill in habitats for small creatures such as insects and worms. So it can be very detrimental. And so that's why when there's a construction site they have to prevent the sediment from going into nearby waterways. And so they will build around the construction site certain features that prevent sediments running off into the waterways. Temperature can be a pollutant because warm water holds less oxygen. So warm factory waste and more sunshine affect oxygen levels for organisms. So changing the temperature of the water can also pollute the water. Acid rain is a type of rainfall made acidic from pollution in the atmosphere. Factories give off certain gases that when they mix with the rainwater, make an acid. That acid falls, and especially in the Adirondacks, this is a problem where the lakes have igneous rock as the bottom that cannot absorb that acid and react with that acid and neutralize it. So you actually have dead lakes in the Adirondacks where there are no living organisms because algae cannot live to provide oxygen and food for the ecosystem, and fish cannot then live, and other things cannot live in that water, and they are completely dead. They have nothing living in them because the water is just too acidic for life. Ammonia can be a problem. This is a problem in fish tanks. That's why you need to you have to change the water in your fish tank due to a buildup of ammonia from the waste from the fish that you have in your fish tank, and that can become an issue in the environment as well if waste builds up, especially from urea, which will produce ammonia. And nitrates are pollutants that prevent red blood cells from carrying oxygen. A lot of times there is excess buildup of nitrate from fertilizer that can get into our water systems. And humans, actually, this was an issue over in Clymer, that children, especially infants who were consuming the water in a certain area, nitrate had gotten into their wells. And the children were turning blue because they were not getting enough oxygen in their blood. And so they tested the wells and found that there was excess nitrate. And this could also be a problem in our waterways, that if nitrate gets into the water systems from fertilizers, we could be affecting the wildlife in those areas. So our objectives today were to explain how water hardness, sediments, pollution, and acid rain affect the chemistry of water. So except for the water hardness, there are different types of pollutants and that are detrimental to our environment. So we have to be aware of those things so that we can monitor and control them to the best of our ability. So don't forget your 5 questions, and keep watching the video to answer the questions at the end. And this is it. You can start studying for your test.